Hello everyone, welcome to the online course on VLSI design. This video is about transmission gate logic. In our previous video we have discussed that although the pass transistor logic is attractive for saving number of transistors as compared to the complementary CMOS logic, but it suffers from degraded high output. The maximum value of output node reaches VDD minus the threshold voltage of the pass transistor, and the threshold voltage is further increased due to the body effect. To deal with the voltage drop problems of pass transistor logic, the transmission gate logic is proposed, and this technique builds on the complementary properties of NMOS and PMOS transistors. That is, the PMOS transistors are good in passing a high voltage level at the output, that is, they pass a strong 1, whereas an NMOS transistor passes a strong 0. So the transmission gate combines the best of both devices by placing an NMOS transistor in parallel with a PMOS transistor, as shown in this figure. Here we have a PMOS transistor and an NMOS transistor, and we connect the corresponding terminals of these two transistors together to make a parallel connection of them. The input is applied to one end of the transmission gate, and the control signal to both sides of transmission gate must be complementary. This transmission gate acts as a bidirectional switch controlled by the signal A. When A is equal to 1, both these transistors are turned, and this allows the signal applied at the input side to pass through the gate. In short, out is equal to in when A is equal to 1. On the other hand, when A is equal to 0, A complement becomes 1 and this PMOS transistor is switched off. Similarly, the NMOS transistor is switched off, and this creates an open circuit between the nodes labeled as output and input. Here we have a truth table of this transmission gate. When control input A is high and input is also high, the transmission gate is switched on and the output becomes equal to the input, which is a high voltage level. Similarly, when the input is low and the control input is high, means the transmission gate is switched on, the output is equal to low. In case the control input is low, the transmission gate is switched off and presents an open circuit between out and in. In this case, the out reaches a high impedance state. In literature, a transmission gate is either represented by this symbol or like this. We have a PMOS transistor and NMOS transistor. They are connected to the controlled inputs, which are complementary, and input is applied from one side, whereas the other side acts as an output. Transmission gates can be used to build some complex gates very efficiently. In particular, they are very efficient in implementing the circuits based on multiplexers. This figure shows an example of a simple inverting 2-input multiplexer. This portion of the circuit selects input A or B on the basis of the value of control signal S. When S is equal to 1, this NMOS transistor is turned on. As complement becomes 0, as a result this PMOS transistor also turns on. So as a result, this transmission gate conducts, whereas this transmission gate is switched open. Consequently, the input A is copied to the intermediate node labeled as F complement. So F complement is equal to A when S is true, or F complement is equal to A and S. When S is equal to 0, the above transmission gate is turned off and the lower transmission gate is turned on. As a result, B is copied to F complement. So we can write as F complement is equal to B when S is false, or in Boolean form F complement is equal to B and S complement. So together we can write as F complement is equal to A and S or B and S complement, and this node is connected to a CMOS inverter which complements it. So we can write as F is equal to F complement whole complement, which is equal to AS plus BS complement whole complement. So in this way we have a circuit of inverting multiplexer. Let's consider another examination gate, XOR gate, and here we have an inverter, and instead of connecting VDD and ground to its PMOS and NMOS transistor, we have connected the input B and its complement. Also we have a transmission gate whose input is A and its control inputs is B complement B, and the output is taken from this node. So when B is equal to 1, B complements become equal to 0. In this case, transistors M1 and M2, they together behave like an inverter and pass the value A complement to the node F. On the other side, B complement is 0 and B is equal to 1. So this transmission gate, which consists of transistors M3 and M4, this turns off and disconnect the input A from reaching over here. So as a result of this, F is equal to A complement when B is equal to 1. So we can write as F is equal to A complement and B. When B is equal to 0, B complements become equal to 1. So here we have the source of PMOS transistor connected to ground, whereas the source of NMOS transistor is connected to VDD. So both these transistors are turned off. As a result, A does not reaches the node F. On the other side of the circuit, B is equal to 0 and B complement becomes equal to 1. As a result, this transmission gate is switched on and copies the input A to F. So we can write as F equal to A when B complement is true, or F is equal to A and B. Together we can write as F equal to A complement B or A B complement, which is the Boolean function of a two input XOR gate. So here we can also observe another thing, that for all values of select inputs B, the output node is either connected to A complement or to A, and we can have two valid values of variable A, that are VDD or ground. So regardless of the value of all the variables, the output node is always connected to VDD or ground. It means that transmission gate logic is also static. As far as complexity is concerned, this realization of XOR gates requires 6 transistors, including the transistors for obtaining B complement, and the same implementation when carried out using complementary CMOS logic, it has a complexity of 12 transistors. So here we can see the advantage of transmission gate logic in terms of complexity. Let's consider another example of realizing a full adder using transmission gate logic. The Boolean equation of full adder are A XOR B XOR carry in for some output and A B or carry in and A XOR B for carry out. Now first we have a couple of inverters to obtain the complement of A and input carry. Then here we have an XOR and XNOR structure similar to the one that we saw in this slide, an inverter and a transmission gate. Here we have the same structure but flipped horizontally. We have an inverter on this side and our transmission gate on this side. So when A is equal to 1, this transmission gate is turned off and these two transistors behave like inverter and P becomes equal to B complement. So we can write as P is equal to A and B complement. And here for this lower portion, the source terminal of PMOS transistor is connected to A complement, which is equal to 0. Similarly, the source terminal of NMOS transistor is connected to A, which is equal to 1. So these two transistors are turned off and this transmission gate is turned on. As a result, the input B is copied to the node labeled as P complement. So we have a situation where P complement is equal to and B. Similarly, for A is equal to 0, we can verify that these two transistors are turned off and this transmission gate is turned on. So P attains the value B. We can write as P equal to A complement and B. Similarly, we can see that this transistor pair turns on and this transmission gate is turned off and P complement achieves the value A complement and B complement. So together we can write as P is equal to A and B complement or A complement and B. Similarly, P complement is equal to A and B or A complement and B complement. This means that P realizes the function A XOR B and P complement realizes A XNOR B. So here we have rewritten P and P complement as P equal to A XOR B and P complement is equal to an XNOR function. So we have written their Boolean representation. Now this portion of the circuit is behaving like an inverting multiplexer. So X is equal to X complement and the intermediate node X is equal to Ci complement when P is 0. So when P is 0, this PMOS is turned on and P complements become 1, which turns on this NMOS. So this transmission gate turns on when P is equal to 0. So we can write as X is equal to Ci complement and P complement or Ci and P. So when P is equal to 1, this NMOS transistor is turned on, this PMOS transistor is connected to P complement, so P complement is 0, so this also turns on. So this transmission gate is turned on when P is equal to 1, and this transmission gate is turned off. Consequently, input carry Ci is propagated to X. So collectively we can write X equal to Ci complement and P complement, or Ci and P. Since S is equal to X complement, so we can write as S is equal to Ci P or Ci complement P complement whole complement, and after solving this term we obtained this equal to Ci P complement or Ci complement P, and this is a simple XOR operation between Ci and P, where P is already an XOR function between A and B. So from here we obtained that S is equal to Ci XOR A XOR B. In the same manner we can verify that CO is equal to Y complement, where Y is equal to Ci complement P or A complement P complement, and this term when simplified it is equal to AB or Ci and A XOR B. So you can easily solve this and verify this to be equal to this quantity. So this is the implementation of our transmission gate based full ladder circuit. So this concludes our discussion for this video. We will see you in the next video.